All right, there we go. Now we're back in there. All right, welcome back into another edition of Cash and Tickets brought to you by Poolside Bets. That's your host, or me, Franklin Johnson, my buddy Paul, sitting to my left. We're glad to be back. I know we missed last week. We apologize for that. I had some life stuff, working on the house, things going on everywhere. I couldn't get away, and so I do apologize. I know Paul put some picks out on Twitter. If you followed that, I think he did pretty well there. I think I had some picks written down. I think both of us in college probably went. I think we both went 3-3. But since we didn't get it put out on the podcast and get it sent out there, everybody can see it. We're not going to count it in our records, even if we had done well. I don't think we lost any games. But we're not going to put it out there or count that into this year's record. So we're just going to move on. We'll recap 2 weeks ago what we did since we weren't here last week to recap the week before that. And we'll maybe talk about some things that happened last week. And we'll move on to the big rivalry week that goes on this weekend starting. It's already started, right? We had some games last night. Don't think we have any football games tonight. And then it kicks off with the Egg Bowl tomorrow night, Thursday evening. And I think we got some national football stuff going on.
There's actually an NFL game Friday.
Yeah, I saw that. So we got some Thursday and Friday and Saturday. So we'll talk about some of that too, a little NFL. So it's rivalry, Paul. You ready to get it started?
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
All right. So let's quickly recap what we did 2 weeks ago. Since
I don't even remember.
I know I've got it up on the board. We'll take a look at it. So this was from week 11, obviously, 2 weeks ago. I went 4-2. Paul went 3-3. But I had. That was the big day. Michigan played Penn State. Bama played Ellis. No, wasn't Ellis. I don't even remember who they played.
Dynamite.
Isn't that sad? Who did they play that week?
I'll tell you in just a second. They played Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, Kentucky. Easy one there. Kansas loses Bean in the first quarter, and they couldn't. They had a chance to send that thing in overtime late. Couldn't get it done. Or actually, they tied it up, and then they allowed Texas Tech to go, all the way down the field in, 30 seconds to kick a game-winning field goal. OK State in the rain just got blasted by Central Florida. New Mexico State went out there and got it done. Didn't even need the points. They went out there and won outright, and Memphis team total continues to cash as they easily went over 30 points as they got in the 40s in their game. Paul at TCU, Texas. TCU puts up 20 points in the fourth quarter to help him get the over 53.5 there for the dub. Rice, UTSA just couldn't get up enough points. I think it was 34-14 in that game.
Yeah, Rice wouldn't. Rice.
South Florida literally had this line covered the entire game until the last 2 minutes, and just let who was it? Temple
Backdoor.
Kept coming back, scoring.
Yeah, I don't know.
UNLV did their job again as they continue to do all year. Troy beat the ever-loving shit out of was it the Raging Cajuns?
I think so.
Easily covered the 21, and then West Virginia got to 20 points with 7-8 minutes left to go in that game and never could get another point rest of the game to help him get that team total over. So I went 4-2. Paul went 3-3. So that was recapping week 11. But there's no sense in spending much time on that since 2 weeks ago. Most of us, we've slept a lot since then. Don't remember what happened.
We've made more mistakes since that.
Yeah. So last week, in week 12, anything really catch your eye there in week 12, Paul? I mean, all the big dogs continue to win, and I don't know much that really caught my eye last week.
Well, injuries. Florida State's quarterback goes
down. Oh,
down.
yeah, Jordan Travis going down. He's done. That's tough for Florida State.
That's big there.
Michigan played with the food a good bit with Maryland.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. This will be all the Ohio State fans talking about this week how it's going to be the first time in 5 years they played Michigan without them cheating.
Well, yeah. Okay.
No, well, don't lose. What are you going to do?
Ryan Day's already got that speed. If they win, if they're able to go into the big house and win, he's going to bring all of that up. And he'll probably start crying or some shit. I've kind of lost all. I'm out on Ryan Day. Too much emotion and whining bitchiness coming out of Ryan Day.
He just looks like a big old. Anyways, Jeff Brom taking the Louisville team to the title game this first year. So he went to the Big Ten title game last year with Purdue. He comes back, takes the job at Louisville, and leads them to the ACC title game.
And I forgot I did have that game. It was one of my big bets last week, and they had to hold on and to get that thing pulled out, but they did.
I scored 15. I scored them. Yeah.
I think I had even money on them just to win because it was a pick. I got plus 100 on Louisville to get that thing done.
And Iowa and Illinois was just dreadful to watch.
Oh,
I watched it. I watched it too.
Didn't you have that game? Didn't you bet on that?
Yeah,
game?
it was Iowa -3, I think, and I was like, that should be able to cut.
Missed extra point cost you the push there.
Yeah, God Lord, I hate stupid ass shit. Arizona is
rolling.
maybe the best team in the country.
Fafita's really good. Once they moved to him, that it's turned that program around. You know, and I was looking at this one right here before you brought that up. I'm glad you brought up the Pac-12. Washington with a big dub going to Oregon State and getting that win at Oregon State. And they needed it for their defensive confidence. I mean, they didn't even score in the second half. Oregon State made that a close game because they got 10 points. It was 22-10 at half. Ended up 22-20. So big dub there for the Washington Huskies to go on the road to defeat the Beavers of Oregon State. Missouri barely pulled it out against Florida. Florida gave Missouri everything they wanted.
Yeah, things are not well in USC.
No, boy, it's just getting worse there, isn't it?
It's not good.
Clemson got the dub over North Carolina. North Carolina's kind of...
We talked about it earlier in the year about Hugh Freeze and him losing when he's supposed to win.
And there it was. New Mexico State goes out there. Pavia with New Mexico State gets it done against the Auburn Tigers.
We're going to talk about this in a minute because I'm on them this week, and I'll tell you why.
Northwestern got bowl eligible. Never saw that coming. They beat Purdue. They get the big win there. And so they are now bowl eligible at 4-4 in the Big Ten. What a year by the Northwestern Wildcats.
What the shit is Fresno State losing for? I didn't even know they lost that game. Where is it at?
Last week, Fresno State lost a game.
They lost to New Mexico.
I don't know how they lost that game. Duke continues to fall. They fall to Virginia.
So sad. I don't like it.
Not much else there.
James Madison. Oh my God, I watched that game too.
Oh, what a game in the fourth quarter, right?
Oh, jeez Louise.
That sucked to see the Dukes go down with their first loss of the season.
What's so bad is the overtime touchdown could have been. It could have went either way. It was close. The guy they gave it to him scoring, but he fumbled it and it went through the end zone. So it
should have been a touchback.
There's going to be a touchback or a touchdown. They ruled it a touchdown.
Oh.
Anyway, that was crucial. That was a great game, though. James Madison made a great comeback
to get that thing into overtime. That's right.
Anyways.
Yeah, Air Force drops their third games. They lose to UNLV. UNLV continues to roll. What a job Barry Odom's done to UNLV.
Yeah, they're talking about him everywhere, but there.
but UNLV, yeah.
He may end up at Ole Miss. We don't know.
All right, so let's dive into it. Got all the big games this weekend, all the in-state rivalries and everything else going on. Starting tomorrow night in Starkville as the Ole Miss Rebels travel to Starkville to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. What's your thoughts here Thursday night, Paul? Thanksgiving night.
I got a bet on it, but
oh, that's right. I forgot.
I mean, we can still talk about it.
Yeah. The line has dropped to 10, by the way.
Yeah, the line's moving. And you got to be really careful here about saying that Ole Miss is just the outright better team because it doesn't matter. Because it just seems to be weird that whoever the better team is, when the Egg Bowl rolls around, more often than not they struggle because the other team is just that much fired up. Now, granted, Ole Miss starts out slow and all that. I don't know, man. I didn't pick a side here. I get why the line's moving down. I really do.
Well, a lot of money's coming in on State because that thing opened at 14, I believe, or 13.5. And so I get in a game like this, if you're getting that many points, you're getting double-digit points. Yeah, you lay the underdog. This year, the way that State's looked, Will Rogers' second game back off the injury. They're just, and typically in this game, the better team does win. Like I said, the better team struggles sometimes, but overall, in the last 25 years, the better team typically wins this game. I'm not saying they're going to cover the 10. I don't think Ole Miss is going to struggle much with Mississippi State. Maybe in the first half, like you said, I think it could be.
We have not started well lately.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the first half, I think it could be a little, back and forth and not a lot of scoring. Now, Ole Miss does get Jaden Williams back this week on the offensive line, so that's going to help a lot since Pettis is out.
Yeah, we don't have any excuses. This is a
No, you can't lose this game.
This is a winnable game.
9-3 would be a failure, losing this game.
Has Ole Miss as a program ever won 11 games in a year?
No.
So we got a shot. If we can get by them and win the bowl game, we to 11.
Maybe they did back in the 60s or something, but they only played 10 games in the regular season.
I don't think they've ever won 11.
And so 2 10-win seasons in the last 3 years. Nope. I mean, you got to go back to Johnny Vault for some stuff like that. So
I don't count the COVID year. I think the COVID year is pretty much a wash. So he's only
3 years.
3 years. Yeah, he's done a great job, and I see why everybody's trying to get him. I just hope he's happy and. His dog likes it in Ole Miss.
Absolutely, his daughter attends Ole Miss. So I mean, he shut down the coaching stuff this year a lot quicker and a lot better than he did last year. Yeah. Like he shut down the whole A&M deal. He's like, I'm not even going to discuss it. It's not a thing.
Well, I think that he realizes that he got all the money he could possibly get last year. I don't think there's no
more money you can soak out of Oxford.
The well is dry.
Yeah, for sure. You got to any money you get now, just say send that to NIL. Yeah. Let's not worry about my salary. There's some other. I mean, you got TCU, Oklahoma, and that may be just because of how close they are to each other. I mean, they're not that too far away, but it's not an in-state deal. Iowa, Nebraska, Miami, Boston College. How is that? I mean, but that just got thrown in there, right?
26.5 point total in Iowa and Nebraska.
Isn't that crazy? It's got to be a record low, right?
It's got to be.
And for a college football game. And I don't think they go over.
It may not. How do you bet it over?
Nebraska doesn't score either. These are 2 non-scoring football teams.
I mean, just out of, sheer luck, you'd think they'd get to 20.
Defensive scores is going to be the only way. Yeah. I thought about jumping on the Memphis team total over, but boy, have they corrected there. It's 39. It's 39.5. But Temple gives up a ton of points. I mean, it may cash again. Yeah.
Look at the 2:30 ABC game. I love they're getting that attention.
Hey, I do too, and I'm on this game, Paul. I'm on it. We'll talk about it later, but
I don't know what your picks are.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be back on this game. It's kind of like when I got back on the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. So you probably know which way I'm leaning there.
They played better.
And that's a Friday game, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you got Missouri, Arkansas Friday. I mean, as Ole Miss fans, we need Arkansas to try to pull that out on Senior Day. But I don't know if Arkansas is going to have anything.
That Missouri team's really good. Yeah. He's done a great job.
Air Force dropped 3 in a row. I don't hate sprinkling a little money line on Air Force here.
Oh,
because Air Force is a dog in this game. But Boise's really good at home on that blue turf. They're good at home. So I don't know.
They get their quarterback.
No,
back?
Air Force is still missing the quarterback. Yeah. But maybe they've had time to get that fixed. But a late night game Friday night, Oregon State taking on the Oregon Ducks. I don't think Oregon State has any chance of winning this game, but it ought to be fun.
If they do, they're going to have to run the football. I just don't see them doing it.
There is a name for this game, right?
Apple Cup or something?
No, that's Washington
Civil
State.
War?
The Civil War. Oh, no, it's not because they won't allow that anymore. They took that away.
Oh, that didn't happen?
It didn't, but they don't allow this game to be called that anymore.
Well, I don't know what
you just got us kicked off of YouTube. We apologize. This podcast is brought to you by the Biden administration. We apologize for everything we just said.
I don't understand. I don't know what it's called, man.
No, it's not. I don't think it has a name anymore because they won't let them call it that anymore.
Stupid.
It's not. Saturday morning kicks off with the big game. Number 2, Ohio State Buckeyes travel to the Big House, take on the Michigan Wolverines. I don't like what I saw in Michigan last week, but I still think Michigan's a much better team than Ohio State.
They just lean on you. I don't know.
It's a slow kill. I mean,
They
just
don't run, they don't throw the ball. They don't care to throw it.
no.
They're just like,
They
we're gonna
don't.
get 4
Would
yards.
they run it like 30 something times in a row
Didn't
against
throw
Penn
it,
State?
Yeah, didn't throw it in the second half. Just ran it. Just look. We're tired of the
Unbelievable.
bullshit.
They're tough. I mean, the one thing that Ohio State's got going for them is that they do have Marvin Harrison Jr. If McCord can find him a couple of times, that could hurt Michigan if they're going to stick to this only run type of football game and play defense.
What is McCord? McCord's a sophomore, freshman, redshirt. What is he?
He's not very. Yeah, I mean, the
He's got
sophomore at
time.
most, right?
Yeah, he'll be. And watch that guy.
What other big? I mean, of course, you got the Iron Bowl, but the spread will tell you that it's not a very competitive game. It's Bama minus 14. But Hugh Freeze back to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide.
I'm on that game.
I am too.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I heard some talk about the LSU A&M game about Jaden Daniels, maybe his last hurrah.
He's got to go out there and get it. Yeah, I think he may put up 1,000,000 yards in this game.
Yeah, he'll try to
try to anyway. So if you want to bet the A&M LSU game, maybe look at LSU's team total over. I think it's in the 40s though, Paul. It's up there.
No, I'm sure it's 42 or so.
Or if you can find college football player props, go look what Jaden Daniels props are and see if because he's gonna run it, he's gonna sling it. You know, he's their leading rusher.
I don't doubt it.
He has 1,000 rushing yards and 3,500 passing yards, 36 touchdowns in the air, 10 on the ground.
That's pretty good.
There's no reason he should not win the Heisman Trophy, but he won't. It's just sad. He's the best player in college football, in my opinion.
Not gonna argue with you. That's pretty much it. It's spread out pretty good. We got a good mix of college basketball on the day, but whatever.
Yeah, and then
It's early.
Yeah. Like we always say, college basketball. I mean, Marquette spanked Kansas last night. Yeah. Marquette's got a really good basketball team.
And Tennessee beat Purdue. No, Purdue beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Kansas, Tennessee right now is tied at halftime, number 1 versus number 7. So
and Kansas, I think that was their first loss though last night. So that's a losers bracket game. Tennessee and Kansas, they're out in some tournament, aren't they?
Yeah, Marquette and Purdue play at 4:00.
Yeah.
So
some other games you got North Carolina taking on NC State. Well, in-state game there. North Carolina's favored, but North Carolina State's at home, and they have been playing well, even though their quarterback that replaced Armstrong ended up redshirting, and then Armstrong's back, and they're still winning with Armstrong there. That defense is really good. I think North Carolina could be in trouble. I don't hate NC State and the points there. It's only 2.5 though. And I don't see much else. So you ready to get into the locks, Paul?
No, I guess.
He doesn't sound confident, does he?
I don't know if we call them locks or,
they just are what they are?
Taped together.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's get into them. I got them up there. So first we'll go over our records for the year. If you look up there, I'm 39-27 on the year. Paul's 28-34-3. Together we're 67-61-3. I do have that corrected this time. Last time we podcasted, the numbers were wrong for poolside bets, but I got all that fixed and added in 2 weeks ago. So that's our record now and where it stands, and I'll get it started this week, so I made you start last time. My first pick is I'm going to the Louisville Cardinal again, as I owned them last week, but they got a much easier matchup this week with Kentucky Wildcats coming into town. Louisville will be at home taking on the Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky's proven they've not been very good against good competition. I mean, they're coming off a loss to a listless South Carolina Gamecock team, and Louisville knows that they've got to keep winning, and they're already in the title game. They're going to face Florida State, but if they continue to win, you never know. If they can beat Florida State, they'll be in a shot to jump into the top 4 to get into the playoffs. So they have to win this game. They'll be motivated. Kentucky's not going to be as motivated as much, in my opinion. So I look for Jeff Brom to have Louisville ready to go and I'll easily lay the 7 points with the Cardinals to take down the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for me. I mean, to see a one-loss Louisville team making it, but I mean, I guess it's possible. You're going to need.
The problem is,
you're going to need a miracle.
But they know they have to win to have a shot. They'll need some help. That's true.
Yeah.
But what will hurt them the most is if they do beat Florida State, they'll say, well, they beat a Florida State without Jordan Travis. Yeah. That's what's going to hurt them. But they can't lose.
Yeah. All right, my first game is Arkansas State plus 2.5 at Marshall, 2:30 ESPN plus. I'm taking a hotter team here. Butch Jones, all the life championships. I mean, we talked shit about him, so I'm going to give him his credit. That guy was crying on the sideline after the first game.
Yeah.
Marshall's played quality opponents in their last 5. They went 1-4 though.
They've gone the wrong way for sure.
Yeah, Arkansas State has improved all year, got better and better. Hung 77 on Texas State last year. Looked like they had more confidence than Marshall
last week.
What did I say?
Last year.
Well, they probably didn't score 77 last year.
They probably did.
So last week they played the Bobcats, scored 77 points. So I'm going to go with the more confident team, even though they're on the road, and give me some Butch Jones action. Just because I talked so much shit about him.
Yeah, I don't hate the pick there. I was on Texas State last week, and boy, was that on the wrong side. You give up 77 points. Goodness gracious. That's tough. Arkansas State has been playing decent football over the last 5 to 6 weeks. All right, I'm going to move to the next game. Miami, Ohio visits Ball State. Ball State's played pretty well lately, but the Red Hawks are without Gabbert. But they've won 3 straight games without Gabbert playing the backup there, and they continue to win easily, with including a dominant win, 30-16 over the Ohio Bobcats. That Red Hawk defense will fly to the football, and they're going to set up some short fields for the Red Hawks. So I don't think they have to drive the length of the field here. So I'll easily lay the 6.5 for the Red Hawks to take down the Ball State Cardinals. They're also Cardinals, I believe. Ball State.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off that one since we're on that game. I took the over here. Let me pull my stuff up.
I saw that was a low total. I don't hate
that. 35.5, 11 o'clock CBS Sports Network, 35.5. There's no reason that both these teams can't get in the 20s. The Red Hawks defense is sound. But, I mean, 35 ain't much to get to.
No.
All you really need is 17 out of Ball State. And then Miami of Ohio go out there and do their thing. This thing sells over.
Well, I kind of saw like a 28-17 game. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah. And then that sells your over pretty simply. Yeah.
So, anyways, I liked the over when I first saw this. I understand the Miami of Ohio thing, but that Ball State defense, they play pretty good defense. Mm-hmm. And then, but, I get it. But, over.
Over 35.5. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we can both hit that. We can middle that thing.
Get that thing hammered out.
No problem. As we mentioned earlier, one of the hottest teams in the country out in Arizona, the Arizona Wildcats. Boy, ever since Fafita took over the QB position, it's changed that whole complexion of that Arizona football team.
I feel like you just enjoy saying that way
Fafita,
too much.
I do.
I think there's rolls.
There's two QBs that I love talking about. Is Fafita and that's Pavia for New Mexico State. Love watching them play. A lot of fun. So, yeah, the Wildcats have just been a different team. Boy, they got to be looking back that Mississippi State game just kicking themselves, right?
What the hell,
that's tough. They could really be in position to do something there. So, anyway, Sun Devils have been lackluster all season, and especially when they play a good team. When they play a good team, it's blowouts every time. It has been the last 4 games. Washington, Oregon, and Utah all beat the Sun Devils by double digits. I don't see any reason the Wildcats won't do it here to Arizona State. I don't give a shit. It's in the state rivalry, and they're at Arizona State. Arizona, Fafita, the Wildcats will run it up on the Sun Devils.
Yeah.
I'll lay the Arizona minus 10.5. Lay them.
Arizona's probably the hottest team in the country.
If
you got on Arizona 5 weeks ago, they were the underdog in every game they played and won outright just about. So.
Yep.
All right, my next pick is Thanksgiving night. Mississippi State team total under 22 versus Ole Miss. It's at State, but that's short of what they did against Southern Miss last week, which doesn't mean much to me. Southern Miss defense ain't shit. State's offense hasn't been good. Short of LSU, Georgia, maybe A&M, the Rebel defense has played really well. They've gotten off the field when they needed to. They give up yardage, but they don't give up points really.
Yeah.
So, they've given up 28 to some really, really good teams. We're getting squirrely.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So, I don't see State getting a 22 here. And they had to score 3 touchdowns really to get there. That's not going to get it. I also like the Jackson Dart rush total over 27.5. If you can bet it, I think Jackson Dart's going to try to make a point in this game. He said he's going to try to make a point.
Yeah.
He likes to run the ball. We like to run the ball. So 27.5 seems low to me for his rush total. But
it gets out on one rush sometimes.
Yeah, officially, State under 22 is going to be my pick here. So I'm not going to go with the side.
I don't hate it. They like you mentioned, they put up 41 points against a bad Southern Miss, and 6 of that was pick 6.
Yeah, I
don't see Dart giving them points this week.
Yeah.
So I don't hate that there. I hope they stay under 22, obviously for personal reasons.
And don't be surprised if it starts out slow and methodical and
10-7 at the half, 10-3 at the half, something like that. Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
All right, I'll move on to my 4th game. It's going to the Iron Bowl here. I know the Iron Bowl can create great games and crazy games, just like any in-state game like this. But this isn't a game that you typically just toss out the records, because usually in this game, again, the better team wins. Now, I know the spread is big. I get that. But Bama's been rolling with Milroe, and once they've now gotten him to start using his legs, and he can hit shot plays down the field, and I think that they can get Auburn here. Now, I got no doubt Freeze will be in his bag. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to pull out everything he's got, and he has beaten Alabama twice when he was the head coach of Ole Miss. I see it close for a half. Maybe in the third quarter, that Bama defense is going to, not only are they going to just shut down that Auburn defense for probably the second half, but they may get a couple of scores on their own there. Peyton Thorne's not a very good quarterback, so I think Milroe and that Alabama defense is going to get this thing done late, and they'll probably cover. They'll probably win by, I think they're going to win by about 20 points. So I'll lay the 14.5 here with a much better team in the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off that game just to keep it in the same wheelhouse. I'm going to take the Auburn team total over 16.5. It's kind of the same thing you said. Freeze has done well against Saban, especially offensively. They've been able to move the ball. Now, I'm not saying their defense will be able to stop Milroe and company. Don't really care here.
Yeah.
But I think, last week losing to New Mexico State, they probably didn't practice for that game, not one time.
No, they admitted as much.
He locked in on Saban in Alabama 2 weeks ago, and probably earlier than that, to be honest with you. This is the game where he saves his season, where he moral victory kind of deal. So I look for Auburn to offensively at least score 21 or so. So it's over 16.5 team total, Auburn.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I think, and they may get a late touchdown. Yeah. I just think that Alabama may be in the 40s by that time. And so I think we can both, again, like we mentioned, Ball State, I think we can both get in on this one on the side that we just like best. So I don't want to be chasing points with Auburn, trying to get them in the end zone late, and you don't want to have to worry about Alabama covering a spread. So we both went the opposite ways, and we'll hope we see this game 40-20 at the final gun.
Yeah.
So my next pick,
well, at least we won't be tying up 2 TVs.
Well, that's true. We won't be tying up 2 TVs.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm going back to my Kansas Jayhawks. I've been riding for 2 years. I love them out there. Lance Leopold it's just Leopold. I don't know exactly how you say his name, but great coach out there. The much better coach in this game. Cincinnati's won 1 Big 12 game all year, and that was against Houston, who's a new Big 12 opponent, not a team that's been in the Big 12 for a while. So they will not get number 2 come. I think this is a Saturday game. I'm not positive. Anyway, Jayhawks again, a 2-well coach. I don't care that they're on the 3rd string quarterback, and there's optimism that Bean may be back for this game. I don't know if you bring him back, you just wait. But I mean, they're not going to a championship game, and the only next game would be a bowl game, which obviously he would be cleared to play for there. But I think they would want to go out and get this win, pad that record.
Yeah.
So I like the Jayhawks here all over Cincinnati because they do not have a very good run defense, and Devin Neal is one of the best running backs in the country right now. So I like Devin Neal to have a huge day regardless of who's playing QB for Kansas. So I'm going to back the Kansas Jayhawks and lay the 6 here against the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Yeah, so I don't know. Cincinnati has just not took off the way that I guess.
Well, they also had to go to Emory Jones, who's not a good quarterback. I mean, they lost their coach, obviously, and now they got Emory Jones. No more Desmond Ritter. I mean, it's just a big difference.
Is that Scott Satterfield? Is that coach?
Oh, he went from Louisville to Cincinnati. Yeah, maybe so.
I think that's who it is. It'll take him a little time. He'll be fine though. I like it. Cincinnati, and you can't put money on them for sure. So
and here's the only thing I would say this, and here and why I love this line, because it hasn't been said for sure who's going to play QB for Kansas. Go get this line now, because if it gets announced that Bean will be the quarterback, this line will jump to 8 or 9 or 10 quickly. So go get the 6 now. Go ahead and lay the 6. Don't worry about it. It's not going to drop. I mean, it may drop if they don't do, but if Bean is announced as the starter come Saturday, that line's going to be 9 in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I like it. My next game is 6:30 on the SEC Network, which is odd. Clemson -7 at South Carolina. Clemson's in a revenge spot here. They lost to them last year. Probably playing their best football of the year. I had a national title ticket on. This is the Clemson I thought I was going to see.
You'd get all
Anyways.
year.
So Dabo threw a big old hissy fit at his fans on a podcast, and apparently they started playing better. Who knew? I mean, what the hell, Against good competition, the South Carolina just hadn't gotten done. There's a lot of smoke around Beamer going to Starkville or Beamer going here, Beamer going there. It just adds difficulty in a rivalry week game. I think Clemson rolls here. I mean, it should be 31-10 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think South Carolina will be able to score on them.
Clemson was on my sheet, and then you sent me your picks, and I said I'll get off. I don't want to have to make Paul go find another pick, so I went a different way.
Well, what'll happen here is I lost money on them to win the Natty, so then I'm gonna bet on them, and I watch them just.
The Gamecocks will do what they did last year.
You probably would have done me a favor
if I'd have made you pick a different game. Yeah. All right, I'll give you my last pick in the college football. This is, look, I'm going back to a team that's been so good to me for 3 years, and I wanted to get on them earlier this year, and I think I did a couple times, but Frank Harris being hurt really had this team set back early. They were not playing well in the first 3 or 4 games of the year, but boy, they've been rolling as of late. The UTSA Roadrunners are going to go to Tulane. They're going to play in the new Tulane football stadium they got there. It's really nice. We watched the Ole Miss play there this year. They packed that thing out. It's going to be loud. It's going to be rowdy. Tulane is, what'd they go last year? Something in 1 or undefeated, whatever they went last year, and they beat the Trojans, and now they're 10-1 this year. Mm-hmm. And the only loss on the schedule is to the Ole Miss Rebels. But they had their backup QB that day. Michael Pratt did not play. However, I love Frank Harris of UTSA. Tulane's been playing with their food the last 3 weeks, and I think it finally bites them in the ass here. I think the Roadrunners roll into Tulane. I think they get this thing done. It's going to be fun watching these two teams play. It's a really great game. They get a 2:30 slot, right? On is it Friday or Saturday? They get the
CBS game.
Get a 2:30 slot there, so I'm definitely going to be watching. It's going to be a lot of fun. I like Jeff Traylor and the boys here to get this thing done, so give me Frank Harris, Jeff Traylor, and UTSA Roadrunners plus 3.5 at Tulane.
I've been on the UTSA team total over a few times this year. The total of 52, when initially looking at this game, looked low.
Yeah.
But
I think it's high.
Yeah, you just kind of, once you start digging in a little bit more and you go,
Tulane has not been the offensive juggernaut they were last year, and neither has UTSA. Both defenses are playing pretty stout. This is going to be a quarterback game in the fourth quarter, and I'm just going to back Frank Harris here.
Yeah. I like, definitely better, like Frank Harris better. I've had him on team total a couple times this year, and it started out, and I was like, there's no way I'm getting there.
And then here they come.
And then all of a sudden, it's like a damn wave of points just comes through. So, I like that. My final college pick is going to be Texas Tech plus 12 at Texas, 6:30. This is Friday night. Texas has not dominated anyone of the late. Losing Quinn Ewers, it seems to have affected them. They're winning, but they're not dominating teams.
Right.
Texas Tech's won 3 of their last 5. Seems to have righted the ship. I can't talk for some reason. Great for podcasting.
Yeah,
right?
you got to be able to talk on the podcast there, Paul.
Get off work, come straight and do this. I ain't had time to get my liquid courage
Yeah,
up.
get your faculties about you. Understood.
Yeah. Anyways, the line looks too big. This game means way more to Texas Tech than it does Texas. So getting 12.5 here, I like it. So I'm taking Texas Tech plus 12.5.
All right, little Red Raiders action there. They're not the team I thought they were going to be this year. Yeah. You know, I thought they were going to be the surprise, the Big 12. Did not happen.
But Texas just doesn't seem to be able to put anybody away.
No, that's the thing. I mean, they gave up what was it TCU last week? They got 20 in the fourth quarter.
They can't. You got to just kind of going against what I've seen. Or going with what I've seen anyway.
Yeah, and so Paul and I both kind of delve into the NFL this week. Actually, going to put some picks out there. I just put them together as kind of like a poolside bets pick. Paul's got 2, and I've got. I don't know why I put 3 out there. I'm not very smart, but. His are the top 2, mine are the bottom 3, but I really wanted to take my 49ers this week. I like them. They're the one team I'll actually bet on here and there. I never bet on the Rebels. In the baseball, basketball, football, hockey, nothing. I just don't do it. It never turns out well. So, but I typically like bet on the 49ers. They're only 7.5-point favorite, but it's a short week. They play Thursday night. And I can't remember, is it at Seattle or is it at San Francisco?
I can look real quick.
For some reason, I think they're at home, but I'm not positive on that. No, they're on the road. So 7.5 is a lot in Seattle. This is a huge rivalry between, speaking of what's going on in college, this is a big divisional game here between the 49ers and the Seahawks. They hate each other. I hate the Seahawks more than any team in the land.
Hey, on some gum.
And oh my God, don't even get me started on Pete Carroll and his gum. My boy Brock Purdy had a perfect passer rating last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's really, ever since Trent Williams has come back at left tackle, Purdy just feels more confident. He's doing his thing. You want to go bet them. I can't talk you out of laying the 7.5 points because I think they can get all over Seahawks here. But it's on the road. 7.5 is a lot to lay on the road. Go look at their team total. Maybe take if it's 26, 25, jump on the 49ers over team total. I don't think I hate that.
So you don't have that one up there. That's just one you got.
I just wanted to talk about it because I think, we've been doing this long enough. Everybody knows I'm a 49ers fan, and I don't mind betting on them even as a fan.
Okay, I got you.
But I just wanted to mention
you.
it. Since it's Thanksgiving night, I brought it up.
I got you. Yeah, I looked at that game. Games I'm going to first game I'm going to bet is kind of the one I've been on for the last 2 weeks or so. It's the Texans team total over 23.5. They're at home playing Jacksonville. And this ain't nothing, but I love C.J. Stroud. I think the young man is playing out of his mind right now. The whole story's amazing. I think it keeps on rolling this week. And, I don't have any fantastic stats for you like I do in this next one. But, it's just one of them deals where you ride them till they buck you, right?
Yeah, no, I look, if you don't have a pro football team, like if you don't watch it much and you don't root for a team, you just kind of play fantasy football, and you thinking, hey, I would like to have a team to root for, go jump on this Texans bandwagon before anybody else does. C.J. Stroud's a real deal, and I love D'Amico Ryans. He was a defensive coordinator at the 49ers for a couple of years. I love the way he runs a defense. His personality fits with players. He's a player's coach. He's going to do great things at Houston.
Yep.
And I'm all on Paul with this here. I love that team. They're fun to watch because I like D'Amico Ryans because I watched him coach defense for 2 years. So, yeah, C.J. Stroud has been great. Easily Rookie of the Year for me and Coach of the Year. shit. In my opinion, D'Amico Ryans is leading Coach of the Year right now.
They play really good, fun football.
Well, he knows how to – they're disciplined. The whole team, top to bottom.
Yep. More disciplined than other team that I'm about to talk about in Texas. What's your next one?
So the first one I'll put out is Packers-Lions. The Lions are really good at home. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to trust them come the playoffs. They're also fun to watch. Amon St. Brown, Jared Goff, Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. They got a huge offensive line. That defense just gives up too many points. They gave a bunch of points to Justin Fields and the Bears last weekend, but Detroit can score with anybody. So if they're at home, I love it when the over-under is it's moved up a point now that I'm looking at it. But when I first looked at it, it's 46.5. They'll easily score in the 20s, and they'll give up in the 20s as well. So I'm not going to lay the 7.5 because it's a short week. Jordan Love's played better as of late. I think he can get the Packers close to 20, but I also think Jared Goff and the Lions can get close to 30. So I'll go over 46.5 Packers Lions.
Yeah, I saw that one too. I don't know. There's something weird about it that I was looking very, very, very intently at betting because I like this Lions team. It's kind of like the Texans. You know, you just like to bet on them, like to watch them, like to pull for them.
Dan Campbell's fun coach.
And nobody likes the Packers.
Nobody.
I think it's cold. They like cheese. What the hell is that about?
There's 3 teams I don't like. Packers, and they all play on Thursday. The Packers, the Cowboys, and the Seahawks. And they literally all play on Thursday.
You got you a day plan
right?
for the Egg Bowl.
and then Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Well, what a day. What a day.
It's going to be a good day. And then we got a little NFL Friday. This next game I'm going to talk about, trust me, I am not a fan of what I'm doing here.
I don't even know how you can talk about it.
I can do it. Watch and see.
Watch and see.
This is about 3:30 on Thanksgiving. Probably right about the time you
about
finish,
nap time.
About nappy poo time.
Oh, tryptophan coma coming on strong.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to take Dallas -11 at home against Washington 3:30 on Thanksgiving Day. Okay, before you just blindly go bet this because you heard it, some dude on
you heard it here first.
Understand that I don't necessarily think the numbers back me here. This is one of them deals where I just think the Commanders have lost all sense of who they were and what they're supposed to be doing. I don't think they're a very good football team. But here's the thing. Jerry Jones on Thanksgiving is 1-11 in his last 12 against the spread. So
you're saying they're due.
Just let that sink in before
Oh my God!
You put the mortgage, because I know there's a ton of Cowboys fans out there that blindly bet the Cowboys, and I'm betting them this week too. But I'm telling you, don't. I want you to understand that that's a big number.
That's a real thing. 1-11 on Thanksgiving against the spread.
ATS. I'm not saying they're not going to win, but I don't know. I just don't have any faith in this Commanders team. So I don't know. Give me the Cowboys -11. And also now listen.
Now listen, I'm telling you right now.
This is a win-win for me. If I bet them and they lose, I win.
Absolutely.
If I bet them and they cover, I win.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's an emotional hedge.
So just understand why I'm doing this, because that 1-11 against the spread on Thanksgiving's it's a turnoff.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. That's a hard stat to get over, Paul.
You end that date early.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a tough one to get by.
Yeah, you order the Guardian Angel shot after you hear that stat on that date.
So my next game moves to Sunday. I don't know if you know this, Paul, but the number 1 defense in the National Football League belongs to the Cleveland Browns.
Fuck out of here with a shit.
Statistically, it does. I don't know. I just screwed that word up. But the stats will tell you that, and they're ferocious on defense, and they're really good. It's how they ended up coming back and beating the Baltimore Ravens, who I think is the best team in the AFC. So I'm going to back this Browns team that's headed to Denver to take on a resurgent Russell Wilson, blah, 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 blah. I don't trust that shit at all. I think Myles Garrett's going to eat all day. Russell Wilson's going to be eating a lot of grass throughout this game. The Browns are going to go into Denver, and they're going to easily cover. You're giving me 2.5 points, so I'll take the 2.5. Give me the Cleveland Browns plus 2.5 at the Denver Broncos. I don't care who they got playing quarterback, Paul. Don't bring it. Just sit over there with your Steelers fandom. Don't worry about it. This is betting. We're not supposed to have emotional.
I
fandom.
just hope you're not
And
betting after what you saw last week, like they did something miraculous against the Steelers.
No, not at all. I mean, just it's proven over the year. I mean, throughout the totality of the year, that Browns defense is really, really good. And the Broncos offense is not very good. I don't care what the last 4 games show.
Well,
They've been winning games close and low scoring. Okay.
So I hope the Broncos win.
Fuck's sake.
What do you?
I can't stop these ads.
As soon as I get going,
every time you try to talk, my computer says no.
Quiet. All right. So I hope it's 21-20 Broncos. That work for you?
That's fine. Oh, you got the Broncos to win?
No, I just.
Oh,
need
you
them
need
to
the
lose.
Browns to lose.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a Steelers
right.
fan.
I'm sorry.
The
That's
AFC
right.
North
That's right.
is still wide open, which I don't. We finally fired shits and giggles, so maybe
You
we
know,
got a shot.
Isn't that what the score was between the Broncos and the Vikings last week? 21-20 or 22-20? Either one of those cover.
Yeah, that's fine.
And the Vikings should have won that game. The Vikings gave that. Anyway. Yeah, I'm taking the Browns plus 2.5. Now, to the team that I think is the number 1 team in the AFC, stay in the same division with Paul. He's just going to be so pissed at me. He wants to kick me right under my chair right now. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have been great all year, but that's really not why I'm taking this game with the laying the 3.5. It's because of who they're playing. Sunday night, they're playing the San Diego Chargers, who find ways to lose games constantly. Justin Herbert, I like him as a quarterback. Maybe it's coaching. I don't know, man, but he
it's 100% coaching.
They got to get rid of that guy. There's too much talent on that team to be middling like they are, especially sitting at 4-6. I think the Ravens walk in there Sunday night and really handle the Chargers. I think this is easily a 10-point game. You want to go out there and get a little bit of that alternate line? I wouldn't blame you there. 3.5, I think, is way too low, so I'll lay the 3.5. The Baltimore Ravens Sunday night on NBC.
Stupid.
What?
Let me pick me a game here.
Let me pick you a game.
Me a game. Hold on, I can dial something up.
Who are the Rams and who are the Cardinals playing?
Yeah, they're playing each other. Give me both of them to win by 7.
How many points you want Seattle to win by this week?
What an asshole.
I'm sorry. Those are the 2 games that caught my eye.
I'm sure they did. I mean,
I'll have to put up with.
This is why we don't talk about the NFL.
That's
on
probably
here.
why. That's probably.
Just straight to the AFC North. There's 32 of them some bitches.
You know what's funny is
you locked in on 3.
Most people would peg us as just like huge Ole Miss Rebel fans, but what they don't understand, our fandom really, our biggest of our fandom lies within our 2 favorite NFL teams.
Yeah, that's where the discord is. Yeah. That's where the drama happens.
That's where the crying comes in and the anger. When it happens to the Rebels, we're happy or we're like, shit. But when it comes to the NFL teams, it's it really gets you. Yeah, I've been known to throw things across the room.
No.
I've been known to cry in happy tears and sad tears.
Shit.
A lot going on. When are we going to get our, speaking of crying at games, when are we going to get our NBA guy in here to discuss what's going on with his Memphis Grizzlies?
Yeah, he needs to explain a lot.
He's got some susplainings to do.
It ain't good.
It is bad up on Bill Street.
Okay, here's a fun stat.
Oh boy, is this gonna more back you up on your Cowboys?
No, I'm not. I'm done with it. I did all I could do to get through that, then put it out there. But I had to give you something to get you off of it because I didn't want y'all to bet it because some dude said the Cowboys are awesome.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
Wait a second. All
right, so let me see how I can do this. You're gonna love this bullshit.
Oh my God!
The point differential in the AFC, Southwest, NFC West, 49ers plus 122.
That's got to be some kind of record, right?
Seahawks -2.
Oh my God.
Rams -25. Cardinals -92.
Holy
They
shit.
are 124 points the right way better than everybody else in that division.
Every other team is a negative.
And I hope they lose by 100 this week. Just because.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Asshole.
How about the Saints are the only plus diff team in that NFC South is brutal. They're leading that NFC South at a 5-5 record. I mean, come on, man.
Ooh, chill.
The Dallas Cowboys are a plus 127.
Yeah.
They're tied with the Ravens for the number one diff in NFL. And then the 49ers are number 3 at 122. That'll help your Cowboys pick. Dallas Cowboys plus 127.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me
And the Commanders are minus 69. Hello. Nothing. Nobody. No gallery. Nothing. You didn't get a. We don't have a button here and no cheering section.
So they got a 34-21 Dallas, which was
yeah, that's a cover.
It's covered.
That'll even cover the current line of 12.5.
25-18 San Francisco. That's a pushy.
Yeah, I don't trust that game at all.
Pushy. They got Houston 23, Jacksonville 22, which would be the under. I got 23.5. Where's my? Here's your Denver 20, Cleveland 19. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's fine. We'll take that.
That's it. 20 to 19.
That's fine. We'll take that.
Sure, absolutely.
Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, the game that nobody gives a shit about.
Hey, what kind of offense y'all gonna run this week? You hadn't even talked about it. You hadn't even brought it up.
It'll be better.
You finally got the guy fired, and here we are in the microphone. You ain't said a word.
It'll be better.
Well, didn't it come out Deontay Johnson laid his hands on the guy?
No, it's been going on for 2 weeks in the locker room. I showed you a video, a month ago with the punter going into the locker room.
Oh yeah, I remember
Canada
that.
Celebrating, and Canada, he's like, I don't know why you're celebrating. You didn't do shit. I don't understand.
I don't know how he hung around this long.
What they're saying is, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm just in Mississippi, so what do I know? They're saying Tomlin likes yes men, like he likes guys around him that won't buck him.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
And he kept Canada around because of that. And then I heard this stuff about the Roonies. They don't want to pay people not to work and all this shit. I don't think I believe that. I think if anything,
that's hard to believe.
I think if they got any indication
isn't winning a bigger thing,
the culture was bad, which it is, and that locker room is in turmoil right now. And it's not over. I mean, there's bad business there. Pickens is not happy. Najee Harris is not happy. Deontay Johnson's not happy. Firemoose been on crutches. He ain't happy. I mean, it's just the defense plays their heart out.
Yeah, they do.
Freaking game, and they don't get no help. So.
And the one thing I noticed is, like all the things you just said, that's not anything ever typical of a Pittsburgh Steelers team. That team is always so close knitted, and they like each other.
Yep.
And if you're the one guy that doesn't fit in, you're gone. Chase Claypool gone. Antonio Brown gone. Le'Veon Bell gone.
Matt Canada gone.
And but yet they continue to win when they got rid of those guys, and they got rid of them in the prime of their careers.
Yep. Let's get it going.
Then look at what some of those guys did after they left Pittsburgh. Bell, nothing. Claypool has been moved 3 times now since then.
Yeah, he'll be in the Canadian Football League for long.
Who's the other guy I mentioned?
Bell, the Bees.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a little bit of success with the Buccaneers with Tom Brady, but then he's just a head case.
Yeah, he's got.
But that's it. Culture is the big deal with the Steelers, and that's why they've always been so good.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't look good when all of your offensive players are and nobody's happy. Something's got to change there, and hopefully this firing changes things.
Yeah, I'm excited. Even if they go out there and they don't do any better, it's better.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get what you're saying 100%.
I mean,
remember how happy we were when they fired Matt Luke at the Red was like anything is better.
Yeah,
anything.
If you watch the Steelers offense call plays or run whatever, they run Najee Harris up the middle. And it's not like it's a delay or it's like a freight
Just
train.
here we come
Into a mass of men.
Here we come. Yeah.
And it probably worked at Alabama because Alabama's offensive line was probably heads and shoulders better than everybody, and they could do
Yeah,
that.
and they
This
could
is
do
the
it,
NL freaking L. You cannot just line up.
Every
and do
defensive
that.
line is good.
You have to have some kind of scheme, some kind of blocking scheme. You can't. Anyways, thank God he's gone.
You want me to text Kyle Shanahan and ask him if he's got any cousins or sons or other brothers?
Let us look at the playbook.
I'll ask him. Can I get a picture? Just give me a quick snapshot of the first page of the playbook.
Just the running plays.
Just the run.
We don't need the other ones because that. Well, at least now we find out if Pickett can actually play quarterback.
That's true. That's true.
We can find out if
I'm
Najee
with you.
Harris can play running back.
Because I was kind of
We don't know.
always was on the side of that Pickett could play, but I don't know now. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I don't know if he can play the quarterback position.
What part of what all started the thing was the lock after the game, after the Browns game, which is a close loss, and everybody was in their feelings and emotional. It was a big loss for us, but they're piling on Pickett because he missed open receivers, this and that. And his point is, we practice all week for two high safeties.
Yeah.
We go out there and it's one high,
And they
they're
ran
down
something
they're
different.
down in the box.
And they had
They had
nothing.
nothing.
They had
Nothing.
No adjustments for it.
Nothing. We kept running the same shit against.
They didn't see Cleveland ever play one high ever.
Yeah, it's one way or the other. But whatever defense they put out there, we ran the plays that we were ready to run against the other side of the defense.
My point is, at some point, Cleveland probably has played some one high, and they didn't even run plays for it.
Had no adjustments.
Makes no sense.
Has no adjustments.
Oh my God.
Which
That's
makes
tough.
sense of why we're running Najee Harris's ass
Up
right
the middle
because
we don't know what else to do. Yeah. Coach, what do we do? Running up the middle. I don't know.
Run Alabama again.
All right. Well, so before Paul loses his mind, throws his sunglasses across the room.
Man, I'm happy.
I think we're gonna wrap this thing up. So you got our picks. We got our locks for the college football weekend that is coming up, and we gave you 5 NFL picks to look forward to this weekend. And maybe if we dive into some college basketball, we'll try to put it on the Twitter and let you know where we're going there. But I usually give college basketball at least till we get to conference play, because boy, who knows what's going to go on there. These teams are figuring themselves out with all the portal movement and players going different places. You just don't know. So take your time, college basketball. Don't get too invested there. You can dabble, for sure. Absolutely. Just be careful when you're getting out there. So for I guess that's it for locks and cash and tickets. That's going to do it for us this week. Good luck. Everybody have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. We'll be back next week to recap and to look forward to championship weekend. So for Poolside Bets, I'm Franklin. That's Paul. We'll catch you next week. Thanks for joining.
Bye.